I've tested, reviewed, picked apart and measured a lot of different DACs at all sorts of price points, and for a while now I've wanted to make something which has some features and design aspects that I feel are an improvement to the listening experience. But I did not want to put my name on something unless I was more than confident in the product itself. And trying to find something which has that level of fantastic inherent performance, whilst also being feasible to actually develop and implement the features I wanted to add, seems like a bit of an impossible task. That was until the Ferrum Wandler came along. And today I am proud and excited to announce the WANDLA GoldenSound Edition. This is a collaboration product made possible thanks to the compute power available within the Wandler and its Surtsa system, and the incredibly talented team of engineers at Ferrum. So let's not delay and talk about what's new. The WANDLA GoldenSound Edition has 3 new optional sound tuning features, my take on tweaks that can improve the listening experience, and 3 changes to the basic operation with the DAC. Spatial enhancement, tube mode, impact plus, increased digital headroom, hardware level voltage output adjustment, and no MQA. MQA was not removed because I wanted it to be, but actually just because we needed all of the compute power we could get for the feature that I'm most excited about, which is spatial enhancement. I've said in reviews before, I am not a fan of typical crossfeed. I think that it's a nice feature to have to make hard panned tracks in particular sound less jarring on headphones, but most of the time I much prefer going without it, and I don't really think that trying to make headphones sound like speakers works very well, and there are improvements you can implement to make your headphones sound better, not sound like something they aren't. And for speakers where you already have naturally occurring crossfeed, adding a bunch more on top can usually just mess things up. But if you have compute power available, there's some cool stuff you can do, and so we developed spatial enhancement. This is an option that increases the overall size of soundstage, the width and the depth, without just pushing things out in front of you. It increases the clarity of separation between elements in the mix depending on where they're positioned, and it does so without any changes to frequency response, no added distortion, and without any tricks like adding reverb. There's one mode for speakers and one for headphones, each designed to alter the sound in a manner tailored to how these different mediums interact with the listener. I'm really excited about this one. We went through a lot of revisions getting the end result just right. I wanted this to be something which is for many people a genuine improvement, something that you'll want to leave on all the time, not a party trick. The spatial enhancement does not fake or force stage into existence if it wasn't there already, and the effect scales depending on how much spatial information is present within the track. Some tracks you'll hear almost no difference whatsoever, and some will see a significant improvement. It opens up soundstage and enhances the performance from your headphones or speakers, while still letting close-in elements remain close and positioned as they should be. And I found that when you turn it on, obviously things open up, but it's when you listen for a while with it on and then turn things off that suddenly it's almost jarring how two-dimensional things may have been before. Whilst obviously I'm biased, don't trust me, I seriously think that this is one of the most realistic spatial alteration options available, and I am really excited for people to get their hands on it. There's 2 other sound tuning features added to the WANDLA GoldenSound Edition, the first of which is tube mode. This feature intentionally increases the harmonic distortion produced by the DAC, but only even order harmonic distortion. This gives a slightly warmer, richer coloration to the sound and mimics the effect that you get by using a tube-based preamplifier without any of the extra drawbacks like added noise. We're not actually doing this part in DSP on the Surtsa module. We are deliberately misconfiguring the ESS chip to produce more distortion, but only in the way that we want. The tube mode is intentionally not a drastic effect. It is not a party trick. It is meant to be a tasteful alteration that many people are going to want to leave on all the time. And the final sound tuning option is Impact Plus. This is a feature that increases the level of bass content, but rather than just using a normal low frequency shelf, it uses my own preferred multi-band bass EQ to not just boost the level of bass, but improve the perceived slam, punch, and impact in the music, hence Impact Plus. And then there's 3 main changes to how the DAC itself operates, the first of which being increased digital headroom. Most DACs nowadays, even if they are otherwise objectively excellent, can't actually reproduce all music properly. Especially with a lot of modern music being brick-walled and having basically 0 headroom, in the presence of strong transients and what's called intersample overs, most DACs, even if they are otherwise objectively great, will just clip this information and can't play it accurately. The Wandler did include some headroom to handle intersample overs, and with the GoldenSound Edition this is taken a step further, making it effectively immune. Even with the sound tuning features enabled, signals even 3 dB above full scale can be played back absolutely perfectly. Which for music which has this, which is a lot, here's a few well-known examples, it means that unlike most DACs, you won't just clip this information, you'll be able to reconstruct and play it accurately, and you'll get a better sounding result. The second operational change is no MQA processing whatsoever. Now, as many of you may know, I'm no fan of MQA, but we simply needed all of the compute power we could get for the spatial enhancement, and we couldn't run this alongside. So on the WANDLA GoldenSound Edition, everything will remain as normal, untouched PCM, except for the sound tuning features that you choose to enable. And lastly, we've added a hardware level voltage output adjustment, which allows you to choose whether you'd like to output the full almost 10 volt signal or lower the outputs to just under 4 volts. Whilst in bypass mode, no digital volume control, and not going through the analog volume control chips either. This change is done at the output stage itself, though of course you can still use either volume control option in conjunction with this new feature if you want. This specific feature will also be available on future standard wandlers as well. The hardware change is being carried across to board revision 4.0, so if in a couple weeks from now you buy a normal wandler, you will also get this specific feature. Older wandlers will have the same option, but it's just implemented via digital volume control. This is a set of 6 new aspects that I think elevates the performance of what was already one of my favourite DACs even further, and offers some enticing features to tune and enhance the sound to your liking. I'm incredibly excited for you guys to hear this. This has been in development for a while now, and thank you so much to the fantastic team of engineers at Ferrum for making it happen. We're launching at CanJam New York, so if you're heading there, make sure that you stop by the headphones.com booth and have a listen. If you've got any questions about this or anything else relating to music or gear, then stop by my Discord server and I and other Wiggly Air enthusiasts will endeavour to help. Or if you're feeling generous, then support me on Patreon and join the private supporters-only Ultra Fidelity Telegram chat. A huge thank you to my crazy Summit Fi supporters Dan Mellinger and Jiden the Shiba, and my Diamond tier supporters Naivotsu, CK Yozizawazu, Eminent One, Neil Snyder, and Spellio Fool. You guys are fantastic. Until next time, thanks for watching.